Hey Ninja Warriors, it's Warrior Wednesday. Woohoo! I figured I'll switch it up a little bit. And May 8th in the house. Today, I'm super excited to connect with you about today. We're going to be talking about being a contributor versus a consumer, and I'll go into that in a moment. But before we go into that, we're in the month of May, and flowers come up in May, and you're a flower, and it's your opportunity to bloom and blossom. I know sometimes I speak a little fast. I'm like, woo, let me slow down a little bit. So yeah, it's your opportunity to blossom and bloom in the month of May because you can, and it's also a magical month. So with the magical month, you get to create magic that you want to create. So if you're tuning in here live, say, hey, what's up? So I can give you a shout out. And if you're catching the replay, comment with #replay so I can also give you a shout out on the replay and say, hey, thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Zena Solomon, and I'm here to guide you and support you in reinventing yourself so you can create a life by design versus living a life by default, and in the process, be in alignment with your vision, values, passion, and purpose. And today, we are talking about being a contributor versus being a consumer. Hey, Jennifer, I think I saw you hopping in here real quick. So, hey, Jen, how's it going, love? So, being a consumer versus being a contributor. So before I go into that, I actually want to speak into what that means. What is a consumer? What is a contributor? So first of all, we're all consumers. All of us, each and every one of us. We consume content. We consume information. We consume very different things. So we're all consumers of something. You're either consuming content, you're consuming food. I'm just going to say food for now. But we are at some point consuming something. And I want to, and the focus is consuming more like content and knowledge and stuff like that. And also the opportunities to look at like, what is consuming you? Are you being consumed by your thoughts, by your fears, by your frustrations, or are you being consumed by your vision, your dreams, your aspirations? Like what's consuming you? What's taking up your time, energy, and space? So that's consumption. Then there's also a contribution piece. A contributor is someone who gives, someone who consumes knowledge, and it doesn't stop with them. They are in the space of giving it back and paying it forward to make a difference for other people. So that's a contributor. So there's a huge distinction between consumer and contributor. So consumer, you could be consuming a show, but you don't do anything with it, right? But one of the things you could do as a contributor is when you learn something from the show, you contribute and you give back by sharing with your friends, family, etc., etc. Okay, so my question for you is, how are you showing up? Are you showing up as a consumer, mostly consumer, or are you showing up as a contributor, or are you both a consumer and contributor? All right. Most people I feel are going to be in both. I'm both a consumer and contributor of content, knowledge, etc. And the invitation for you is to see, where do you spend most of your time? Do you spend most of your time being a consumer, or are you spending most of your time being a contributor? Okay. So I want to say also, contributors are huge in taking action and implementing what they've learned and implementing the things that they've gotten. It just doesn't sit with them. You know what I mean? They go for it, they take action. So that's what contributors do. So there's some ways that you can step in from being a consumer to a contributor, and I outlined because I'm serious. No, I'm kidding. I outlined 6 ways for you to step into being a contributor, because the reality is, if you're spending most of your time consuming but you're not giving back, that's not life. I mean, we're not here to consume, we're here to give. So if you're in the space of consuming and you're not giving, then you get to look at that and see what gets to shift on your end. So the 6 ways for you to be a contribution. The first way, your first step or first strategy, is you want to be connected with your vision. What is the big vision? What is your big dream? What do you want? Like, what is it that you want? What's the big vision? What do you want for yourself, for your life? What do you want for other people's lives and for them as well? So it's not just limited to you, it's also you and other people. So what is that big vision? What does that look like for you? So that's number one. The second one is focusing out. What I mean by focusing out is being generous, like focusing out, like thinking of, okay, who will this information serve? Who will this, how can I serve this person? How can I serve the person in front of me? How can I serve, a client, a prospective client, etc. Whatever that looks like. Whoever you're in contact with, whoever the universe or God puts in front of you, how can you serve that person? That's focusing out. So that's the part that you get to connect with. Third part is being generous. So you want to be generous with your time, energy. You want to be generous with your knowledge. You want to be generous with your gifts, your talents. It's huge to be generous. It comes like when you're generous, the universe will pay you back in reciprocity and you will receive generosity in return. The fourth thing is you want to add value and be valuable. So add value, like what I mean by adding value is you go into a situation and you look at, okay, how can I move this forward? Like if it's stagnant, how can I move it forward? How can I move people forward? How can I move myself forward? You know what I mean? How can I got an incoming call. So when you move things forward and you move yourself forward, then you're creating value. You're creating value for yourself. You're creating value for the people around you. You're creating value everywhere you go. You also want to be inspiring to others. So be an inspiration and inspire other people to step up to the plate and also to contribute as well. Finally, is you want to teach what you've learned, because for you to master something effectively, you get to teach it. So if you consumed content or information or knowledge, etc., one of the fastest ways for you to master it is to teach it. So you find someone who doesn't know the information and you teach them. You be generous, right? You teach them and you also create results for yourself and for others from your knowledge. So those are 6 strategies, 6 ways for you to be in a space of being a contribution, which I know you are, because we're here on earth to make a difference. Most people I've talked to, I'm like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Oh, I want to make a difference. I want to help people. Like we all want to serve people. So this is your opportunity to shift and recognize whether you're a consumer or a contributor or both. And if you're spending most of your time being a consumer, then you get to shift into being a contributor and spend most of your time being in contribution, and also consume things that are relevant to you, that'll move you forward to being a contribution. So I hope this was helpful and supportive to you guys. I will leave you with a final quote from Simon Sinek. I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek. So Simon Sinek said, when we help ourselves, we find moments of happiness, but when we help others, we find lasting fulfillment. So again, that's Simon Sinek. So that's true. We find lasting fulfillment when we serve other people. So my mission for you, or the mission that you have for this week, is I would love for you to share with the world what your big vision is. What is your big dream for yourself and for other people? I want you to step up, own your voice, own your power, and share. What does that look like for you? So comment below on the video, share what your big vision is, and let us know how we can support you. And also, the other thing is, you share what it is that you will be contributing. So what are you going to be contributing? What are you going to be giving? If you could share that also will be amazing. Hey Nat, hey Nicholas, thanks for joining, guys. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'll see you next week on Warrior Wednesday, same time, same station. 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern, Warrior Wednesday. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sayonara.